Now, I was not kidding earlier when I told you that Jack Carter's recently had a throat operation, and if anybody has to talk more than politicians, I guess it's professional comedians. He's had a serious operation on his vocal cords, and we're very honored that he chose our program to unveil his new voice, whatever it might turn out to sound like. So let's welcome Mr. Jack Carter. Here he is. Well, Jack, you always had a nice, full resonant voice, and I imagine it's probably now better than ever, right?
Well, when the doctor told me, and I wonder how my doctor looked a little bit like Don Knotts, too. I wondered that,
And I asked for Richard Burton, huh? I sound more like Elizabeth Taylor, right?
Seriously,
Listen, seriously, how about that oversexed Bonnie and Clyde you got in your audience?
Andrew Brown and the woman from
Andrew H. Brown and the lady with the ruby hair. I never saw anything like that. No, it looks like a chinchilla cocoon. But, you like the new sound now?
Yes, it is more resonant than the old one.
The funny thing, when I had the operation, the most expensive part of the operation, of course, is going to all the doctors to get the best guy.
Yeah.
Then you find out that my laundryman had it done. An elevator guy says, I had my polyps removed a week ago.
Polyps?
I said, yeah, polyps. That's two growths I had on my cords. They're kind of fleshy. Mm-hmm. In fact, I gave them to science. I mailed them to England to Twiggy for chest transplants. Is that all right? Is that allowed, or is it too late?
Certainly. If it's all right with Acme, it's all right with me.
Well, Twiggy needs help. She's the only girl with two backs, Yeah. I should have quit when I was ahead.
Not necessarily.
No, I hear she wanted to get a job as a topless waitress. She walked into the restaurant and they offered her a job as a busboy. Let's get back to Andrew Brown and the lady with the wild hair.
Yeah. No, these are wild audiences. They top me every night.
They are. It's good to be back talking again because I just got through with writing notes, Steve, for 4 weeks.
Yeah, you seriously have to
when
do
I
that.
met you at Kurt Fring's, I was writing the notes.
Yes.
And the funniest thing is, as you write a note to someone, immediately they start writing back. People that can talk.
They forget.
They suddenly realize, I'm fine, how are you, And the worst thing was I went into a restaurant somewhere in Beverly Hills and I wrote coffee, and the waitress brought me back tea, You get kind of frustrated. You got to write it, so I wrote coffee, And so this time she brought me back coffee ice cream. So I got angry now. In big letters, I scrolled hot coffee. She looked at me, she says, don't raise your voice to me. But it's just murder because the doctors are brutal nowadays. You got to go to specialists. I went to an otolaryngologist. I met every one of those Flugelmeyer doctors in the whole world. One guy stared at my throat for about 2 weeks just trying to figure out what he would charge me, And then he painted it with silver nitrate, which cost him about 10 cents. Mm-hmm. And he sent me a bill for $380. Wow. For another $20, I could have bought a Picasso, So I sent him a note. I said, I got your bill. It made my blood boil. So he sent me another bill for $25 for cleaning out my system. Oh, I tell you, it's smart. And I happened to catch a real Nazi in the next bed to me.
Uh-huh.
No, I mean, it's hard to get private now because you're not covered by Blue Cross.
Yes.
And after you get the bills, you need Red Cross. So there's a guy in the next bed, Steve, and he obviously was a tough cop, one of them California troopers,
Yeah.
And he's laying there with his guns on in the bed. I knew I was in trouble because his name was John Birch, And I says, hi, Mac, what are you in for? I said, throat surgery. I am the polyps. He didn't know who I was. Kept calling me Carson, Carver,
Yeah.
And he says, well, election's coming, huh? Boy, I'll be in there for Barry Goldwater. Got to get Ronnie Reagan in there. I said, Reagan, I didn't vote for him in movies. So he looked at me and he says, pull that bed over to the curb. Show me your license. And for 3 days, the guy wanted to kill me, but he had the legs in the cast and he couldn't get out. When I get well, I'll kill you. I had to sleep every night, fearing this guy would climb on me. Oh, I tell you, but it's good to be talking again and have my resonance. They're doing amazing things now. They put the microscope right into your throat now.
Really?
Yeah, they used to just pry it open and let a midget doctor go in or something. They go in and then the tongue stays flat for about a week. But surgery's getting wild now anyhow with these transplants they've got. They're transplanting hair now. And...
Listen, if I may, I'd like to have your comments on the subject of transplants in about a minute and a half when we come back after a commercial. We'll be right back.
From Bonnie and Clyde. I said to the doctor, I said, I want to sound like Andrew H. Brown there. You got a funky audience, I want to tell you, Steve. They come off the Vine today.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a cute lady with the herringbone legs down here?
Could we get a shot?
Or is that a blood clot? What is that on you? Jacket dress
lady
with
has some very
herringbone legs?
interesting stocking. Would you? Well, I guess the way you are is all right. We'll get a shot.
Could you model the chair for us, please?
No, there doesn't really seem to be much light there.
Well, you got to stand
Could
up.
you stand up and step back up the aisle of 3 or 4 feet, please? There's a little
There
more
she
light.
is. John
Yeah.
Bunyan of the North. Oh, that's adorable. That condition will clear up in about a month, you know. You're going to pose and all. Planet of the Apes is back. Here we go. Good. All right, you can sit down. Just join the folks from Texas in a car crash. There they go. That's the Boll Eagle Womble.
Yes. You know, your legs, I don't mean this as a wisecrack. I mean this kind of a poetic observation. Your legs look like 2 snakes. Don't they? Snake legs, we'll call
Snake
them.
legs.
They do. Where do you buy those? Oh, I didn't mean that to hurt your little feelings. She said that wasn't very good for her ego. No, I meant that the pattern of the stockings looks like the pattern of a snake's body, which happens to be a very beautiful pattern, right?
Yes, of course.
Try to back out of that one, folks.
I heard a nearsighted snake that fell in love with a rope. Well, that got us out for a minute, but not too long.
We're going to bring out our next guest now. She's a lady you've seen and enjoyed on many a television comedy show. Let's welcome Miss Nancy Kulp.
Let's find Alicia Wolf. I say let's find Alicia Wolf. Track her down in Texas.
Wasn't she sweet?
Wasn't that a lovely letter?
The little girl.
to find me.
So, you know, you sat in the right chair for your dress, I must say.
Ooh,
No.
do you think so?
Oh, yes.
Well, they aren't my colors at all.
Well, you're wearing a kind of a gentle orange, aren't you?
Gentle orange?
Gentle orange.
Gentle
Or
orange.
Gentile orange.
Gentle orange.
You said it, I didn't.
Sort of a Hebraic yellow, I would say, against the Brecht green.
So that's the reason I'd like to move.
Want to go here and match?
Yeah, do you mind?
No, let's
No,
see.
that's all right.
A little
No,
music as we go.
No, please, please. He needs a head transplant.
Musical cheers.
This is worse. Thank you. Don't you think this is worse?
No, that's nice. You blend into the background. You could be wallpaper.
I've done that for years. But it's finally paying off. Yes.
Nancy,
Yeah, oh.
when Jane and I were in Santa Barbara a few months ago, we were wandering around like 2 gawking tourists one day, and I saw a sign that said Nancy Kulp Art Gallery or something of that sort. Turned out to be yours.
Yes, I had one in Santa Barbara. It is what's going on up there? It is now defunct, however.
Oh, that's too
well, I
bad.
couldn't give it the tender, loving, the touch, my own artistic touch, which it needed.
Well, it was-
I like to say that now that it's gone out of business. It was my fault, really. But
It was a very
it was fun.
attractive,
Thank
place.
you.
You had some nice paintings on the wall. You're a woman of wide interest. I understand you're also interested in dogs.
I didn't know
Yeah.
they painted.
My turn.
No, I just thought I'd interject a little humor here and
No,
there.
all right.
Before another store
No,
flunks.
I mean, listen, I have a little story I want to tell.
Go,
and-
Culp, go.
You see, Nancy,
go ahead.
he's just gotten his voice
He and his
back, and he's about
powers.
8 weeks behind in his talking.
Oh, really? You want me to leave? Would you be happier if I just left?
Oh, now don't be violent.
Well, no, I'm just sensitive. I'm very...
We were such friends earlier in rehearsal.
Yes, we were. Indeed, we were. They're hanging me, my God.
I'm sorry, tell us
I'm
about...
forced to sit here for my dignity impaired.
I think you have a bad disease, Mr. Carter.
Getting back to that head transplant.
Tell us
Did I
about
have
your
a
dog.
story to tell you about? Yes, I did.
Yes.
Mr. Carter, may I have your permission to proceed? What's your name,
Just
darling?
trying to get Odyssey 2000 off the ground here.
Listen, Space Cadet, we'll be with you in just a minute. No, I do have dogs. Speaking of dogs... Now, let me alone!
This is
Anyway.
off again, right?
What were we? Oh, dogs, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
Tell us
yes, I
about
do.
them.
Oh, tell you about them, yes.
Seriously.
All right, seriously. I had a very kind of doggy day the other day, quite inadvertently. You know what that means. It means
Yes,
by
it means
accident.
in the
I didn't-
interim,
I
a
didn't
small
plan
town
it,
near the
sort of.
Outer.
Yeah. Good, yes, very good. For you.
Anybody takes
Is that
me for a
allowed?
fool makes no mistake. I'll tell you that. Well, start off with your little cockamamie art shops. I'll have you in La Jolla in a minute, sweetheart.
Hey,
I'll
really?
give her a Don Rickles wipe out. A dumb skinny broad comes out here with the trick-or-treat hairdo and tries to wipe out the Jew. All right, go ahead. I'm taking
no,
the
I'm
water away.
anti-Semitic. Could I have some water, please? Anyway, what I did was, the other day, I just happened to be with a friend. Up. Sit. Stay.
Now, Jack, we really must hear the story about the dog.
Yeah,
so, for yours.
it's a great story. What? Anyway, what happened was that... Can I have a Kleenex, please? No, I had... Thank you so much. Rub your mouth, please. There we go. What happened was this. I had 2 dogs at home, so one day I went with a friend to pick up some dog food, and I had to have a kind of... That's funny? Oh, what a great audience.
He memorized your Kleenex and ate it.
Suppose I just address myself directly to you.
Now, Jack, sure is better than your oatmeal bath.
Seriously, Jack, we must hear the story about the dog. All
Do you have
seriousness.
any other bookings
No,
after
no.
tonight? No, you don't.
Nancy, I'm dying to hear about your doggy did.
Gosh, I've forgotten it. Anyway, I have this kind of spiffy new car with a leather interior and so